But basically what we're looking at is the facts of what's going on here. A gentleman a few years ago that sat in Jay's seat once told me that the hardest issue when he has to have something brought to him is to always bring the facts back to me, and it's hard to bring them to the top with all the emotion that's within an issue. So if we look at the facts, again, Three Rivers wants to be within the Dubuque County Planning and Zoning Plan. Family farmers are struggling for a consistent source of inputs and supplies. Three Rivers has a customer base in that geography. The Iowa Department of Transportation granted the Type B driveway permit with the distances. The property meets the Iowa Department of Agriculture, Land and Stewardship. Dubuque Planning and Zoning did pass it on the 15th of March. And basically, in conclusion, we want to be in the Dubuque County zoning jurisdiction. We have an 85-year history of being a good neighbor. We have a strong safety record and training program. And we have a long-term commitment to Dubuque County agriculture. Currently, we moved 20 jobs to Dyersville in September of 2015 with anticipation of 5 additional jobs in the future with the Dyersville North site. We threw 2 30,000-gallon anhydrous ammonia bullets. We're probably going to go through about 700 to 1,200 ton of product a year. Right now, we're looking at 700 ton of product. And we're wanting to grow that naturally to justify the location. We're going to have the bulk feed storage bins there. There's probably going to be 200 to 300 ton of bulk feed moving in and out of there per month as well.
We purchased this land late last summer, and I had talked to Anna prior to the purchase, and she recommended zoning before purchase. Because of the purchase date on the bids, it was not timely to get it done. I couldn't have got it done before the bids took place. So we took ownership of the property. I took a 1-year note out on the 10.5 acres with the intention of selling it from the date of purchase. That was my intention, but I needed to do some work on the buildings and repairs. The site itself, the one thing I handed you, just to give you an idea, it had 2 existing buildings already on it that were usable for business. One building is a 50 by 100 complete concrete with cold storage, and about 3/4 of it heated shop in one side, and already had offices in it that were previously used by the farmer.
I've lived at the end of that lane of the proposed fertilizer plant for the last 9 years, and it's been in my family for 70 years. I live there with my fiance, and we'll be married in October. We both work full-time jobs and raise a few calves there in the summer. And it was my intention this year to purchase that 8 acres from my dad and keep it in the family and raise our family. But I don't know who in their right mind would want to live next to something like that, with the truck alarms, fertilizer mixing operations. They claim it's a few short weeks, but you know they're busy weeks running all night long. So you wouldn't be able to keep the windows open and drive land prices down for the neighbors dramatically. With the Beacon website, Dwayne Gravel's north fence line, or south fence line from our north fence line is 440 feet. So if you're up to 3 possible tanks there now, with the spacing, you're probably getting close to 400 feet again, I would guess.
Mr. Mickle stated that this does fall within the 2003 future annexation plan. I beg to differ. I believe it's just outside of that. That is a snapshot of the plan. It's on the north end, but it lays just outside their 20-year outlook from 2003. Just so everyone's aware, Monday night at the City Council meeting, there was a motion. There was public comment taken, and a quote. The motion basically said, does the City of Dyersville want the City Administrator to go to the Supervisors meeting and comment on their behalf? And that motion died rather, for lack of a second. So in the interest of full disclosure, Mr. Mickles is here at the request of the mayor alone. The other short comment I'd like to make in terms of the current industrial park that Dyersville has, yeah, it's a very good site, but you know, for those who are concerned about accidents, there are more people in that industrial site at any given time than there would be out at the proposed site. So that's just something to consider. Again, I don't believe Three Rivers is looking for infrastructure. They have water and a septic on site to handle who they plan on employing there.
But Anna said she admitted they were not legally allowed to operate before the zoning. Is that what you said, right?
They are in violation.
Okay. Since, in the last 8 days of business, there's been 66 trucks in 8 days coming in and out of there. We have pictures to prove it, if anybody wants to see them. Also want to touch on the future land use map comprehensive plan is clear that it is a residential area. She tried to make it seem that the future land use map was ambiguous. Is it clear or is it ambiguous? I'm just trying to ask. Is it clear?
On that, at the location where this property is going to be placed, it is currently in an A1 or agricultural use. The future land use map does not go up to this property in our comprehensive plan.
Okay. Also, Mr. Pape talked about on Hyders peak time. There's also peak time for kids being outside playing and school buses going by here too. Just wanted to touch on that a little bit. How can we trust Three Rivers FS as a future neighboring business owner? With all the misrepresentations that has occurred to county officials, they say they are going to do this, they say they're going to do that, but there's no limitations to this zoning. Besides not being able to sell this property as M2, they can virtually do anything they want with it.